Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing white with red and green and weighed in at 9 stone, 2 pounds. His professional record consists of 15 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 11 of his 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Santa Catarina, Nuevo León, México, presentando Humberto, el convicto de Santiago. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing silver with black and red and weighed in at 9 stone, 3 pounds. Hailing from Dublin, Ireland, he is undefeated with 14 wins. One of those wins comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the current IBF European Super Featherweight Champion, Jono King Kong Carroll.
Gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Remember, defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Well, good evening, everybody. It does promise to be a tremendous night of boxing here in Belfast. And Jono Carroll, the man from Dublin, I think it's fair to say he rather enjoys the atmosphere. He likes the big stage.
Seconds out, round 1.
Reveling in it when he walked up to the ring, encouraging the Irish supporters to cheer him on. And coming into this fight on the back of a really good performance. That's a good start from him, solid left hand. A really good performance in June where he outpointed the Liverpudlian Johnny Quigley. Good fight that was, and a good performance.
Probably his best win of his career, Carroll. Good southpaw. And yes, John, he absolutely loves the game, doesn't he? He loves the atmosphere, the crowd. One of these guys who really rises to the occasion.
Caught by a good right hand there, De Santiago. Incidentally, the Mexican, it's kind of a bit of a cliche that Mexicans are tough, but he goes in the mould. He's never been stopped. 24 years old. And a year younger than Jono Carroll. Managed by Matthew Macklin, one of the MTK group of fighters. Been a pro since 2012 now, as Jono.
Bit of a scouting mission for him in this round. His opponent, he keeps switching, doesn't he? Orthodox to southpaw. Carroll starting to put his punches together now.
Carroll southpaw himself, of course. Likeable sort of fella, Jono Carroll. Got one of the better beards in boxing. He's always got a twinkle in his eye, including in the ring there. He might have got a little sly smile at his opponent. Tell you what, it's a lively start to this fight.
Yeah, I think Carroll putting his shots together well downstairs. Keeps whipping this left uppercut to the body. He's working well behind his jab. There it is again, look. Just misses with that left hand. But a definite scouting mission in this opening round, just to check out his opponent, and likewise.
Well, interesting opening round, and both of them will go back to their corners feeling that they've had their moments. Both of them have found their range and the targets after an exploratory sort of opening minute or so. And the signs are that we've got an interesting fight in the making.
Sore throat keeping you awake?
Yes, and I need a good night's sleep.
And some good action
Second tight, round 2.
Second round. This one scheduled as a 12-rounder for the vacant IBF Intercontinental Super Featherweight title. Jono's been a pro now since 2012, but the MTK camp with Matthew Macklin as his manager, his career is just starting to kick on a little bit.
Getting a little bit more accurate now with the shots, is Carroll, with that straight hand, especially that jab of his. Again, that's good boxing, and just maintaining the gap now between himself and Santiago. So that's good work there from Carroll.
Crowd getting excited as Santiago rocked back onto the ropes a couple of times. I think it was by his own volition. I don't think he was in any sort of real trouble.
And he keeps switching from orthodox to southpaw, Santiago, and it makes me wonder whether he's actually actually a southpaw or he's an orthodox boxer. I actually think he's probably an orthodox boxer that's switched to southpaw, and he's stayed there.
Carroll's cut. Right eye. There's going to be work in that corner. I didn't see whether it was a clash of heads or a punch that did it, but there is blood now dripping from his right eyebrow. First man to have seen it, ahead of us at ringside, unquestionably would have been his opponent.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit worrying, won't it, for the corner? But it just might change the tactics slightly. Better left hand, and Carroll now on that front foot.
The irony is that he's kind of got himself caught and cut as the head's going very close together again there. He's got himself cut when he's really starting to power on the pressure and fancying the job here.
Wouldn't surprise me though, John, if it was a head clash. Heads are coming close, aren't they?
Well, punch goes in low. De Santiago is making the most of it. He'll be given time to recover. Now, what's Phil Edwards going to do about this? I don't think he's going to make any sort of formal warning. Head clash, he's saying, is what has caused the cut. Doctor will have a look at it, of course, between rounds, and they'll work away on the cut in the corner.
Well, the referees give Santiago enough time now to recover from that body shot, or should I say the one that was obviously strayed low. But Carroll now, you can see the urgency in his work. He knows he's cut. Feels he's landing some bigger shots now, and could be a change of tactic. He could go straight on that front foot now and try and stop this fella.
Well, there's going to be work at the end of the round for Johnny Roy, who's the cut man in the Carroll corner. But look at this again, as Carroll starts to let the punches go once more. De Santiago ducking and weaving and holding on and trying to buy a few seconds, but he's taking quite a lot in there.
It's good work from Carroll, but at the same time, John, he's got to watch that he doesn't further that cut, because the heads are clashing. Better work again, he's going for it, Carroll.
Look at this, they go toe-to-toe. Tremendous action in the closing stages of a dramatic round. And look at the reaction.
Let's have a look. So we think that's where the one cut happened, clashing of the heads. It was a dominant round, I thought, for Carroll. He boxed very well indeed, but the head clashes, of course, the cuts.
He's cut on the right eyebrow. That looked as though it was the worst of the two cuts, and then in the last minute of the fight he picked up another one underneath the left eyebrow. So he's got that to cope with. Brave guy, and he does have a tendency to cut, and he's walked into a solid shot there. Really put a lot into that second round, Carroll.
Yeah, he really went for it, didn't he, towards the end of the round itself. But he's got problems, John, with those cuts, and he probably thinks he's got to finish this guy, and that's going to be tough.
Well, the referee went to the corner, the red corner, that's Humberto de Santiago, and said as another low punch goes in, and Santiago again is making the most of it, and Phil Edwards is giving a warning to Carroll, who holds his hands out and says, look, it wasn't deliberate, but De Santiago is making the most of it. His corner, incidentally, was told that both cuts were caused by the head. Well, I don't like to second guess how bad that low blow was, but he certainly reacted.
It's up to Carroll now just to try and maintain that gap between himself and Santiago. Better boxing from him now. Santiago, on the other hand, though, John, he'll try and get close again, rough Carroll up, hopefully land a shot, make the cuts worse, but the referee has already indicated that the cuts come from the head.
De Santiago has been a pro since he was 17 years old.
Oh, that's a bad clash again.
Dear me. This is bad. The referee's got a problem here. Watch your heads, he says, and it is the decisive thing of the fight so far.
You see, that clash there probably made that cut even worse, but
oh, good body shots. Carroll thudding in a couple of really solid, meaty-looking right hooks. The crowd is giving him colossal support.
Yeah. I mean, Santiago is complaining here and there, but he wants this type of contest in terms of up close. But Carroll's putting the better shots together now, starting to pick the shots downstairs.
Well, he's not enjoying this sustained body attack, Santiago. And he's coming, looking for him now. Carroll fancies he could take him out. He could finish right here, and he has. The referee stopped it. And Jono Carroll scores a sensational stoppage victory, and Belfast absolutely goes wild.
Tremendous stoppage that was from Carroll. He knew that he had to get the guy out of there. The cuts were bad. I think one of the cuts it got even worse during that round with a head clash, so he knows that the cuts were bad, and he knew deep down that he had to stop his opponent, and he really went for it.
Let's just put this into context, Richie, because this is against a man who has never been stopped in a 7-year professional career, and Jono Carroll in 13 pro fights has only had one stoppage victory before that. To say that he put it on the line and went for it tonight would be an understatement, and look at the length of that cut along that right eyebrow. It must be fully 1.5 inches long.
Yeah, well, that came from that head clash during that round. It made it worse, didn't it, that head clash? Made it cut, but let's have a look here now. He really goes for it, keeps his opponent on the ropes. Everything's going in here from Carroll. Good shot there, and he just sustained pressure, sustained attack, and kept it going. His arm got caught at one point. The referee's got no option, has he? I mean, no, nothing's coming back. He's got to stop it. He's got to stop it. Look, his arm, it's unlucky there because his arms got over the ropes there.
But his legs had gone, hadn't they? His
yeah,
legs
the legs had gone. There. The referee had got really no option. Good shot there. It's just unfortunate that, yeah, the kid's arm there, Santiago, his arms got caught. But it was a great sustained attack from Carroll, and he knew he had to get the guy out of there because those cuts were bad.
Jono is building a real fan base up here in Belfast. Enormously popular, of course, in Dublin as well. And look what it means to him. That is raw emotion.
Yep. Tremendous performance there from Carroll. Talk about a boxer really going for it and putting it on his opponent. Tremendous stuff.
Well, he's a happy-go-lucky extrovert sort of guy. Fairly demonstrative, even without that sort of performance. But you could see when he actually forced the stoppage, it was vividly shown in the pictures that you watched with us just how much it means to this 25-year-old Irishman. What a finish that was. Right. Into the ring now, it'll be music to his ears. Here is Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 16 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Phil Edwards, steps in, stops the contest as the red corner was in no condition to continue. Therefore, your winner, and now the new IBF Intercontinental Super Featherweight Champion, Jono King Kong Carroll.
Carroll a smile that says it all as the belt is wrapped around his waist. And a spectacular stoppage victory for you. We didn't really quite anticipate that one, but my goodness, it looked good.
Brave little fella this. The Dublin boy comes up here, tries to steal the show off the Belfast fellas. I don't think that was in the script tonight, Steve, but he has set a high standard, has he not?
Well, the mad thing is, he fought there tonight like a guy that had stopped his 13 opponents, not stopped one of them. He's luckily stopped all of them. He fought tonight with a tenaciousness, with an aggression, with a degree of violence in his shot and intent. He was going for it before he was cut. John and Richie were right to pick up on the cuts, firing up, but he was going for it, John, before he was cut. He was determined to leave his mark, his stamp on this arena this evening.
Josh, I'd like your impression on one aspect of this performance.